The wrong person will eventually drift away. The right person will eventually meet. Welcome to Improve Better Daily. The article I want to share with you today is titled These Small Things, which have become the biggest crisis in marriage. A few days ago, I read a story from a netizen. Her husband, in the eyes of others, seemed like a warm and kind person. Whenever a neighbor had an issue, he would go and help. During meals with friends, he would tirelessly serve tea and water, and even give a colleague a ride home, even if it was out of his way. But at home, it was a different story. The husband often wore a stern face and treated her harshly, either yelling at her to fetch water or cutting fruits for her. When the child cried, he would leave to drink with friends, finding the noise irritating. When there was a plumbing issue at home, and the property management delayed fixing it, he pressured his wife to negotiate. For the sake of the child, the wife endured silently until one day, because the dining table wasn't wiped completely clean, just a small water stain, the husband erupted in anger. That was the last straw, and she had enough. She handed him divorce papers, and the explosive man was left bewildered. For such a trivial matter? According to data released by the news in 2022, the main reason for divorce is the lack of harmony in feelings, and trivial matters in life are significant contributors to this disharmony. In marriage, there are no small matters. Accumulated disappointments will gradually cool the heart. The water stain on the table was the final straw that broke the camel's back. Polite and considerate to outsiders, neglectful and disrespectful to family members, such men are not uncommon in life. They appear courteous in public but reserve all their unpleasantness for their families. One's manners are often reflected in life's details. You can deliberately hide them, but they will always come out unintentionally. Creating a polite and gentle image outside, at home, shouting at the wife over a small matter, is disheartening to think about. Such a marriage is like an endless marathon, consuming each other's last bit of strength recklessly. Gorky said, "Every time you successfully control yourself, it means you are stronger than before." Maintaining at least the minimum care and respect for your loved one, being willing to control your temper for the other person, is the baseline for happiness. Some say that to judge a person's upbringing, look at how they treat their family, because a well-mannered person will not torment those around them with a bad temper. Getting angry at close ones because you're used to being loved, is like what the famous writer Shi Taisheng did. After becoming paralyzed, he would leave home in a rage, returning home as if possessed, breaking things, pounding his legs, shouting, "What's the point of living?" He vented all his bad temper on his mother, but no matter how much he hurt his mother's heart, she would grab his hand and cry, saying, "Let's live well together." What he didn't know was that his mother was in the late stages of liver cancer, often in pain and unable to sleep the whole night. Once, when reminiscing about the past with him, she accidentally used the word trample. He suddenly left quietly and, unexpectedly, never came back. When neighbors carried him to the car, he was still vomiting blood profusely. His last words before death were, "My sick son and my underage daughter." Shi Taisheng felt guilty towards his mother until the end. He said, "I really want to warn all children, never get angry with your dearest ones. I understand now, but it's too late." Many people unleash their accumulated bad temper on their closest ones. No matter how much harm you cause them, they will always forgive you because family bonds are more stable. Treating blood relations as an excuse for unconditionally hurting them will only lead to endless regret and sorrow. The tree desires calm, but the wind does not cease. The child wants to support, but the parent does not wait. Never wait until you lose the person who loves you the most to regret it. Secondly, getting angry is instinctive. Learning restraint is manners. Neighbor Grandma Zhang was known for her bad temper, often arguing with neighbors. But in my impression, Grandpa Zhang always smiled, and responded softly when talking to Grandma. I always thought Grandpa was an easygoing person. One day, I went out to dine with Grandpa, encountering a restaurant owner with a terrible attitude. Throughout the meal, the owner had a stern face, ignoring people and scolding the waitstaff. I was thinking of finishing the meal quickly and leaving, but unexpectedly, Grandpa couldn't sit still. He criticized and educated the owner right there. Later, I asked him why he was so angry. Grandpa waved his hand indignantly and said, "I just can't stand seeing the owner bully the staff like that." I asked, "Then why have I never seen you raise your voice at home?" He replied, "I know your grandma's temperament very well. Every time I feel like getting angry, I just let it go. Living a peaceful life is much better, isn't it?" So, it turns out that Grandpa wasn't naturally easygoing. He had been controlling his emotions all along, saving the best temper for his family. Even if he appeared strong and unyielding outside, when facing his dearest ones, his heart was always soft. Napoleon said that a person who can control their emotions is greater than a general who can capture a city. Everyone has their temper, but only those who are willing to be gentle when facing you, and willing to accommodate and tolerate when problems arise, are using the best lubricant in the contradictions of a relationship. Those who strive to keep their emotions stable are the ones who understand love the most. Because they know that family is the gift of love, not a storage box for bad temper. The best manners a person can have are not just being polite and courteous to strangers, but more importantly, leaving the best temper for their loved ones. Wang Xiaobo once wrote, "In loving you is like loving life. When young, one thinks there are people everywhere. Other people's matters are your matters. But as you age, you realize that besides your family, you have nothing. Those peaceful and good times in life are not taken for granted. It's just that people who love you are willing to quietly brush away the complexity for you. Love can span mountains and seas, but mountains and seas cannot be leveled. Never create an insurmountable ocean between yourself and your closest ones. Family is the one that has been with you for the longest time. Parents have shown kindness to you. Wife and children have shown love to you. We should give them the most care and respect. Don't wait until it's too late to regret. Hope that you can treat your parents and family with more patience. Learn to control your emotions. No matter how big the world is, you always have to come home. No matter how many people you know, only your family can be your constant companions." That's it for today's sharing. Thanks to the members for supporting us. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me your thoughts. Don't forget to like and share with your friends. Looking forward to meeting you again.